Welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi, and we are on tonight. It is November 4th. Can you believe it? My husband just turned 50. I'm older. It's awful, especially when he's 50 and I'm older. It's just awful. Anyway, it was worse when he was 49 and I was in my 50s. Here we are. It's gorgeous out. It just got a little bit colder. Usually it was like really hot. There were a lot of forest fires and stuff, especially in Berlin. That was kind of weird. I called a couple friends asking them, like, really, are you guys all right? And they're like, well, we're off kind of, Worthington Ridge area. We're not really on the turnpike. And I'm like, well, you're near there. So anyway, I hope they've resolved that. Over the weekend, I had my husband's 50th birthday party. It went great. And my friend, she's a firefighter, which is crazy. And, she just kept telling my kids, put on the seatbelt because you don't even know how many car accidents I have where it's just awful. So anyway, wear your seatbelt. Yeah. If you have a newer car, it kind of beeps. It's like beep, beep, and it doesn't stop beeping until you plug it in. So anyway, note from Rachel Topal from the Cape. So I have here with me Grant and Eileen from New Britain, and I had my show at Miss Porter's on October 20th, was the opening night, and they came, and I didn't know who they were, and they said, we watched the Crack of Dawn, and I was like, no. And they said, yes, and I was like, no way, this is so great, this is crazy. So they also stayed for the show. It was great. Thank you, Greer. He was the last guest last week. I had Greer on, and he let me have the show. This is the painting that they bought from me. This was also the front of, oh, sorry, I'm blopping the microphone. I told you, Rich, I wasn't going to do that, and then I hit the microphone. It was also the cover of the show at Porter's, which is kind of fun, because it doesn't necessarily means it's the best painting, but usually it's my favorite one. So it was one of my favorite paintings, if not the best one. And it really looks like the horses are coming at you, which is great. So thank you so much. And they're sitting in the background here. And what I'm going to do today, I'm going to put this back over here so you can see it. And they might have to leave. So I might have to just say, if they, I got to sign it, duh. So they bought the painting. And then Grant just said to me, Dawn, we just want you to sign it. And I was like, what? You've got to be kidding. I sign everything, especially if it's good. Somehow, he's right. I didn't sign it. So I'm going to sign it now. And a lot of people sign, they don't sign it right, or they're not good at it. So what you want to do is you don't want to put your name right here, especially in black. That is going to cause a big problem. I'm trying to have people focus on the horses, not my name, okay? The worst is when people write by Dawn. I mean, that's like, 4th grade. You don't do that, okay? You figure out, like, if you're famous and people are chasing you down the highway or down the whatever sidewalk, and they're like, oh my God, Grant, Eileen, I can't believe it's you. I need your autograph. So you want to sign, like you're famous, because it's your first time, being famous. So it's so fun. So you want to sign it fancy. Okay, figure out how you want to sign it. I mean, don't tell me every doctor. You've got to be kidding. You're going to go to school for 12 years and then you're not going to have a fancy, cool signature that nobody can read because you're a doctor. You get to just scribble something that says nothing because, yeah, you make a ton of money and you can do whatever you want. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to do it, you want people to be able to read it, especially if, like, friends come over. Oh, I have a Dawn Lombardi, too. Well, that's great. I also sign it Nolan Lombardi. And people, you can get as mad as you want at me, but a long time ago when I was studying art history, there just weren't a lot of ladies, And actually people didn't take them seriously either. So that's how it started. And then being from Northampton, Massachusetts, that's not, it's not cool. Because people are like, what? What do you mean? This is a women-oriented place to live, and you're not going to sign it as a girl? I'm like, well, you know what? It's not like people are not going to figure out I'm a girl. It just worked at the time. So I don't know. It's just been that way ever since. People would call my art studio. Is Nolan there? And where is he? And I'm like, oh, he's out. He'll be back later. Now, which one do you want to buy? I'm just kidding. But it's true. So now this is signed. And you don't want to, make a big statement of, your signature. And my father's one of them. Hey, you can't even read it. And I'm like, well, Dad, it's like a doctor's script. You know, you want to have the same one. You don't want to change your signature every time you sell a painting. You want to have the same one. So I always have the same one. Now tonight, what we're going to do, I'm going to paint on the table. This is the same size as the Saratoga one that Grant and Eileen just bought. And I'm going to paint, they've been wanting a painting of the studio, which means what I'm looking at. Now you can't see it, but you're going to be able to see it unfold as I paint it onto this canvas. And I was just talking to my sister, and it's so funny because my birthday's coming up, and she bought me this. She's like, Dawn, you're going to love it. It was $2. $2, she goes. Yep, $2 at the, sorry about the mic, Rich. It was $2 at the thrift store in Falmouth. And I'm thinking, it's J. Crew. Like, literally, how was this $2? And like, how does the lady keep her business open? Because like, what does the lady that brings this in get? Like a quarter? Is it like the Aldi shopping cart? I mean, how is anybody making money? So I don't know if it was really $2 because it's J. Crew. But she got it at the thrift store, no less. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch. I don't have a pencil. I don't want to use one today, and I also don't have one. So a lot of artists, like Greer, that was on the show last week, he's the director of the chair at Miss Porter's school, and he said that he sketches a lot with a paintbrush. And it's not like I haven't done it before, but I'm going to sketch what's in front of us. So I've got 3 cameras that are focusing on me. I've got Grant and Eileen in the background. I've got an ESPN kind of looking thing, and a lot of cameras and a lot of lights. So I'm going to try it, and we're just going to wing it. And last time I only did 1 episode. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. Don't get mad if I do 1, but you know what? Nobody wants boring TV. I click the station quick. And you're going to love this. Of course, everybody's going to be like, of course, Dawn couldn't fill out the ballot. Oh, my God. So I went to pay my taxes. And my husband was like, I think we owe like $700, maybe 8. Well, we didn't. We owed like 15. So I was like, okay. So I just paid it. And then it said early voting. Vote here now in Farmington. So I thought, you know what? I've got to work tomorrow, which is election day. I don't have any students, which is really easy. But they must use the schools in Hartford to vote at. So anyway, I voted in Farmington. Nothing against anybody in Farmington, but my God, I got the ballot, and I got confused. And my whole family was like dying laughing. They're like, Mom, what do you mean confused? And I'm like, I was confused. I didn't understand like what to do. I didn't know where to go across. I didn't know where to go down. I thought there were going to be like, there was like a ton of people. I just didn't know. So anyway, I hope they didn't throw it out. But I asked the lady for help. And she was super nice. But again, she was like, honey, you just vote for your party. It's it. And I was like, ugh, I don't even know. So that was a disaster. But, when you're voting, sometimes, especially, you might think it's, dumb that I didn't know how to do it. But I really was confused, not to be mean. So you might want to, like, take a snapshot of a ballot before you go. Because I really was confused. I was. So hopefully they count my ballot, but I don't know. I just felt like, oh my God, I was so confused. So remember that, people, that, not everybody is perfect at doing that. Following directions is the big part. So what I'm doing right now, you can see, because Rich is going to put the cameras down, and I'm going to go kind of fast now. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing these big cameras that are overhead, and there's 1, 2, there's a lot of them, but they don't have to be perfect. And since I'm painting live, it's very different than painting horse races. I'm working from photographs. I'm tweaking them. I'm doing whatever I want. But this is painting live, and I don't have a a pencil. So I'm just painting what I see. And I've got a door over here that goes. The Nutmeg TV, if you ever had a show here, they have a lot of different places to sit. They have, like I'm looking in front of me, we have a big, huge set over here, and that's from ESPN, donated. They must have redid their show, their headquarters down in Bristol, and I think they donated the whole thing. So we have a beautiful setup for that. Right now, what I'm painting Grant and Eileen, and they're on these chairs, and they've got these really cool orange pillows and a little coffee table. It's fun to paint live. I mean, I don't know. I do it a lot. And people walk by you, because I do this a lot when we go on vacation. Usually we're going somewhere that's nicer than where we live. So I figure, you know what, I may as well bring my paints because we're, on Martha's Vineyard. I may as well paint on Martha's Vineyard. My God, everything's gorgeous. So I paint live. It creates a little bit of people love to see a live artist painting, and not everybody sticks around that long, so they don't know like how long it takes, or how long I was there. But a good painting, usually about 3 hours, is nice. Put me down by the shore, a nice boat. I'm doing Eileen now, and this is going to be cool because this is a very abstract painting. Everybody's very dark because the lights are all on me, so it's fun. But I love painting like this, and people always ask me, Dawn, what do you like to paint? And I'm like, live. I really like to paint live. It's a lot of fun. Well, the paintings aren't as good. I'm like, well, yeah, they're actually better than all of my paintings because it's a moment in time. You've just captured a moment in time that's not a photograph. It's something that, is actually there. So these are fun, and I like doing these a lot. I should have done one at my husband's party. And big shout out to, I had a Grateful Dead band. I am not a Grateful Dead person at all. I actually don't like going to concerts at all. But my husband loves it. So I hired a Grateful Dead band. And you'd never even think that he is a Grateful Dead person. I mean, he's never smoked pot. He doesn't like any of that stuff. Not that all Grateful Dead people do, if you're a Deadhead. But it kind of goes with the genre, But no, not him. He's like straight arrow. And so I got a Dead band. It was called Ace and Company. And they were great. I don't know any of the songs. A couple, Box of Rain. There's a few I know. But they were amazing. And I got a porta potty because he didn't want anybody in the house. I knew he'd divorce me. 25 years, I thought, you know what, this is going to send him over the edge if anybody comes in the house. So I got a porta potty, and, that was great. And then I got Highland Park Market. I was going to get Naples Pizza because Kurt is fantastic, but they don't deliver. And I would have forgotten. I literally would have said, I forgot all the catering. I left it at the store. So I decided, no, I need them to deliver because I'll forget everything. So here's what I'm doing. I am going to go with a bigger brush now. I've got a few different ones. You want to, if you don't take care of stuff perfect, like I really don't, so I prefer like cheaper brushes. That way I can always refresh and get a nice new one. They're never going to last perfect anyway. I'm going to go in. There's a lot of black in my painting because it's very dark here. So I'm going to go in with a lot of black, and we're going to see how this is going to work out. I've been very busy at school, and my grades are due. And, oh, God, I don't like doing grades. It's so hard. It's very hard to remember all the kids' names. There's a lot of them. I have 570 students a week. So, and some of them have the same name. And you know what's great? I said it on the last show. I always say, there's never a girl named Angel. It's always a boy. But I know it's a Latino kind of name, but I always thought, like, God, it's kind of girly, But I just love that name. But we got a lot of Angels. And then let me think of another really popular name. Another popular name pretty much everywhere is Isabella. You got a lot of Isabellas. So you got a lot of Bellas, Isabella, lots of different names. And we've got kids from all over the place. So you think like, oh, yeah, Puerto Rico. Nuh-uh. That's not even half. We have kids from, we have one girl from the Congo. Isn't that crazy? I was like, oh, my God. I had to, like, look it up. And I know it's Africa. I'm not that crazy. But it's like, I just didn't know. Like, is that really the Congo? That's so cool. And her flag, because we always have the kids do the flag of where they're from. But I thought that was cool. Because it's more fun when you're around different ethnicities and different cultures. It's great. So we don't have certain holidays that my kids have off. Like we didn't have Diwali, which was I think it was last Friday. It's an Indian holiday. And I always celebrated it at most schools that I worked at, but not this one. We probably do like Three Kings Days, things like that. It just depends on the population that you're dealing with, really. Because some people think Halloween. I've heard so many kids, Halloween's evil. And yeah, but that's some religions, nope, they don't like Halloween. So, I have to do like the anatomy of a spider instead of like, oh, let's make a Halloween spider. We're learning about insects. So you can tweak it a little bit, when you're a teacher, and you don't have to have anybody getting mad at you or anything. Because, You know, let's face it, we all want to draw a spider, or we do. I did a lot of Spider-Man today. Today we painted, which was great, and the kids love to paint. They stop fighting. So what you do is sometimes they get mad at me. Why did he get paint? And I'm like, trust me, you'll figure that out in about 2 seconds. When he stops, all of the problems that he's doing is going to stop because I just gave him paint. Well, why does he get it first? I'm like, because I'm in charge and you're not. And that's the end of it. And a lot of people have parents like that. My mom always would say, so funny, Mom, I thought you said this. Well, I changed my mind. We loved when my mom said, well, I changed my mind. Because it just was like she changed her mind. We got so used to it. Rich is bringing out the 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes left. It goes by so fast. I can't even believe it. And I'm so mad I forgot my Taylor Swift lipstick. You know, every time you see her, it's like that stuff has got to get all over everything. That guy she's dating must be covered in it. It's just lipstick, lipstick everywhere. I love lipstick, but I have very small lips. So when I put on lipstick, it just draws more attention to the fact that I don't have any lips. So I don't like it. And you can, my daughter's a makeup expert, and she's always like, Mom, just draw them on. I'm like, no, that's kind of like those fake eyelashes that people wear. They're like half falling off their head. I don't like them. There's a way to put them on, but some people just, they don't look good. No. Hair, all this, you know, men sometimes, well, some men deal with makeup. I mean, there's a ton of them out there, which is great. I love guys with makeup. The guy at Nordstrom's, Matthew, and he goes by Matthew because I asked him. He has high heels on, tights, skirt, makeup is gorgeous, crew cut, like totally, like clean cut, haircut. And I love him. He's so good at makeup. So I'm not saying guys don't wear makeup, but I'll tell you, you got to be good at it. You can't be messing around. And some ladies are awful at it. You know, the blue eyeshadow back in the 80s. I mean, that was so bad. And I don't think I was really great at makeup. This might need another whole episode. We don't know yet, but we're going to try to go fast. I'll show you what I'm doing. Well, actually, no, I'm not showing you because it's not good. So what I'm going to do is just keep painting. Yeah. So I'm doing kind of where Eileen and Grant are sitting. And I was telling them, I love New Britain, and we wanted to move there, and their taxes are high. But right, the houses are 3 times the size of my house and fancier. I like these things. They're called lanais. And everybody's like, oh, they only have them in Florida. Well, no, they have them in New Britain, everywhere. And they're like an outside kind of patio that's fenced in kind of thing. And they have them in Florida, right? And I mean, every house we looked at had one of those lanais. And then there was George Ziggis. I don't know if you know the Ziggises, but that was my husband's like biggest client. Hi, George, if you're watching. George was a big client of my husband's at Sherwin-Williams when he worked on West Main Street. So if you guys ever bought paint on West Main Street in New Britain, my husband was the manager for like 17 years. And now he's with Benjamin Moore. And, you know, we don't have any preference. I mean, we like Ben Moore colors better, but anybody can make them. So you can walk into a Sherwin-Williams and just say, you know what, can you mix this Ben Moore color? Yes, it's not illegal. They don't own the color. I mean, they might own their color, but you can mix it anywhere you want. And then we always try to see who's better at mixing paint. My husband thinks he's better. I think I'm better for sure, but he has things that mix your paint for you. So you can kind of match a color and put it under the mixer thing, and it'll mix it for you. So I do all mine differently. But anytime you need paint, my husband works for Bushka Lumber. And they're a self-made, which is great because Eileen was just saying her dad was a carpenter. And it's just those trades. Oh, and Grant, metal, a welder. And he said the same as me. It takes a lot of hand-eye coordination. And I was like, it does? I didn't know that. I don't think I've ever welded in my life. Maybe. I can't remember if I have. But they're bringing all that back to the public schools. So, like my daughter said, she went into a cooking class. There's never been a cooking class, I don't think. Maybe at Farmington High. I've never heard of anything like that. But, you know, maybe nobody wanted to take cooking because they didn't have, you know, a great kitchen. But I thought I had cooking when I was in school. I mean, we all thought it was hilarious. We all made brownies and all sorts of crazy stuff, and you'd have like people from the band on your team, people from the football team, all sorts of people. Um, just learning how to do like silly stuff in the kitchen, but basically so you didn't burn your house down. Um, yeah, so this painting is going to take a while, and it's very, very dark. There's a lot of blue, there's a lot of lights. I've got to put a lot of cameras in. It could take a few episodes, maybe 4, I don't know. These are fun paintings, though, but they take long. I'll show you in a minute. I don't want to show you until the last couple minutes because they take long. Anytime, and you can see my paint here. It's kind of all going into each other. And I bought this set. It was on sale at Blick. I don't know if it still is, but it has 12 colors, and pretty much you can make all the colors with all of the ones you have in here. You just mix them together and make the colors that you want. But it is a great store. And even if you don't have kids that are into art, it's way more than just art when you go in. Way more. So if your kid plays soccer, you might think like, oh, my kid plays soccer. We're athletes. We're not going to go into no art store. Trust me, every kid likes art, and there's tons of stuff. It's not just for people like me that paint. It's absolutely everything. So when you go in there, it's a hoot. Plus, everybody's artists for the most part. So you've got some interesting, fun folks. They're all great at art. They can all help you, find what you're looking for, which is great. Rich is going to come out and say there's like 2 minutes left. I know it. Yeah, 5. We're getting so used to it. I'm doing this ESPN thing here. I don't know if we're going to get any rain. I have no idea. But I just heard a guy on the radio. I'm not going to say which radio station because that would be so mean. But he was talking this morning, and he was like, yeah, yesterday was gorgeous. My wife and I and the family were out raking leaves, and we were like, what a crisp day, what a gorgeous fall day. And he's like, so then, we decided to have a fire. And like I almost spit out my coffee because I was like, ooh, you're not supposed to be having fires. So the co-host said, dude, you're not supposed to be having fires. He said exactly what I said. And the guy goes, oh, well, we had one indoors. It was indoors. And, I was just thinking like, oh, no, it didn't sound like it was indoors. So hopefully that you had your indoor fire, but it didn't sound like that. But I always have to worry because I can say crazy stuff on here. I can say whatever I want. And Rich is the director, so he can edit out things, but we don't want to do that. I don't want him having to edit things because I don't have manners or I said something stupid. So I usually try to be careful with that. But if I've ever said anything, crazy or something, I mean, I could totally understand me doing that. But I try not to. I don't think they're going to hire me on the new Today Show. I think that Hoda Kotb lady is leaving. So Jenna Bush needs a co-host, and I don't know. I don't drink wine at 9 in the morning. So I don't know what time they film that show, but they have a lot of martinis going on. And that would be great, but it might not be a good look, So I don't know. But they are drinking that wine and basically talking about celebrities all day long. It's kind of fun. I don't know. That would be a fun show to do. But I like this show, and we all love Nutmeg TV down here. So we're going to do this. And then, I got to go back to the New Britain Museum of American Art. Don't forget, the New Britain Museum of American Art, the first Friday of every month, they have a big party. It's so fun, like really fun. And just try it out. You don't even have to like art. You don't have to dress weird or crazy or anything. You can dress nice. A lot of people dress up. I used to dress up, and I brought my kids when they were little. And then when they got to the age where they're like, Mom, we're not doing this. They did it when they were like 4 and 5 and 6. But now we've got 2 minutes. It's a ton of time. And the kids at school, I've got a lot of bilingual kids, and I don't speak that great of Spanish. I'm okay, but it's pretty funny. I'm not that good. But they don't know a lot of English. And they'll say to me, I go down and I do cafeteria duty, which means I just like pick up trash and I make sure everybody's like got their breakfast. And those Hispanic kids, they're so funny. They'll say, gorgeous. And it's like the one English word they use with me because I say it all the time about their art. So they go, Missy, 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 gorgeous. And it's so funny because it just makes my day because like that's what I do all day long is I just go around yelling gorgeous, because I don't know any of the Spanish. And So they'll come up to me, gorgeous, Missy. It's it's gorgeous. And that's like my little like thing at work. But I'm glad I teach art. I hope they don't get rid of it. They're I don't know what they're doing with education, but sometimes, you wonder, would they get rid of art? Because sometimes they get rid of, like, sports. They'll just say, you know what, if you want to play a sport, go play your own sport. Go join a club team. If you want to do art, I guess go get your own art teacher. But I think I'm actually the teacher's break. So when the teacher gets 45 minutes in their contract to go take a break and, not take a sick day the next day because they're so exhausted. So I do that. And we got to close the show. Rich was like, close it up. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And I didn't get much done, but I am going to make this painting look so good. And remember, we've got to go. I should have added some more yellow in the background, but Rich says close. So these are different than horse racing. I've only have like a quarter of the painting done. And even if Rich and Eileen leave, if Grant and Eileen leave, I can still take a picture of them with my camera and add them on here. But this is a different painting than the ones I do. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I took so long jabbing along, and I'm sorry about my mic. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on the crack of dawn. Bye.
Sometimes life just happens. Don't worry. Farmington Motorsports will get you back on the road and at a fair price. From towing to tires, emissions to transmissions.
Our ASC certified techs do it all.
Farmington Motorsports is a family-run business. We're a Napa Auto Center and AAA approved. We work on all makes and models from preventative maintenance to major repairs.
And every repair is backed by our 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty.
When life happens to you, don't worry. Farmington Motorsports.
Follow us on Instagram at nutmeg.tv.